Welcome, and today we are going to be talking about Knut, and let's start here. This is all about concentration, and you are a person who really has the ability to sit down and concentrate and focus, and people probably even comment about that, about how they may wish that they had that focus that you have, that commitment that you have. This right here is all about routines. It's about being organized. So, regarding this and your consistent access to willpower and commitment, it really does play a huge role in what you do nowadays. Because I'm sure some people are like, oh, I bet when Knut says he's going to do something, he does. Because then there's going to be a routine. You're going to find all the details and the routines in it. And you just may unconsciously just be good at finding the fastest way there. Knut, you are a person who has so much going on in your brain, and you really just have this pressure to get it out into a physical thing. Your thoughts must become deeds. You are this busybody. And you actually might move so fast sometimes that you forget steps. Uh, you miss something, and you might get frustrated and find yourself going back and having to redo those steps or, going back to the beginning. Right here, this is all about Knut possibly being stubborn, but it's stubborn for a reason. He's a fighter. He knows what's worth being risky for. He can take risks. But sometimes when I'm talking about this stubbornness, people may tell Knut things about 17 times before he actually ingests it and hears it. And it's because he's meant to be this very unique individual living on his own path, being busy, charismatic. And when he is being that charismatic person, knowing what's worth struggling for and being the fighter of that, that's when he's truly going to be empowering to his tribe, to his community. That's when he's going to be inspirational. Right here, this is talking about values. He has these deep rooted values. And over here, this is actually talking about community, and this is really where hospitals, fire departments, police come from. Just making sure that everyone's getting looked after. So, Knut might have found throughout his life that he was shamed into not finishing tasks. Knut, you should be able to finish your tasks. Why don't you stick to something? But he shouldn't let that bother him at all, because that is literally what he's here to do. He's meant to taste something and then just throw it aside. And if he feels like it or has energy to do it, to come back to it later. So he's really in a good spot when when he walks into a place and he's just like, yeah, this is a place, then he should stay there. But right here, if he walks into a place and he's just like, nah, it's not the place for me, he should definitely leave, because this is an inner compass telling him that he's going to have the wrong opportunities with the wrong people. So even going to the place next to it just might be right. And it can tell a lot for him for the positive. Now, you might, like I said before, have this brain that just keeps on running and running. And that's okay. It's who you are. Sometimes people are like, oh, you need to meditate and close, or, shut off those thoughts. But it might be a little bit hard for you. You're a person who may scroll through that infinite rabbit hole on the internet, no matter what the platform. Trying to be inspired by something, or you might also find yourself, if you're really not acting your true self, answering everybody's questions, because if Knut doesn't have the answer, he sure will find out the answer. So I'm sure you are the go-to guy for a lot of people, because if you don't know, you're surely going to possibly find the answers, or just, say fuck everybody, get your own answer. Um, I actually did this video before, but I actually am redoing it because I wanted to talk about this specifically right here. We're getting into more of the hippy dippy stuff. If you want to stay for more information, that's cool. But Knut asked me the question, what is the purpose of human design? Human design, someone earlier told me that it helped them find their voice instead of listening to everybody else and what they think she should be doing. But it helps me coach people because it just helps me understand them and gives them compassion. So let's get into the hippy dippy stuff. This here is talking about stimulation. The key stimulation is the key to joy. Excuse me. But you might already know this about yourself, because I have this within me, that you have an addictive personality. And that could be for the better or the worse, but I hope it's for the better. You are a person, as I've seen through your streaming, that you are a person who does tend to their routines, and you are a person of that commitment. So I wonder if you know that about yourself, so you point at yourself in a different direction instead of the wrong direction. All right, let's talk about some other things. Maybe you get over enthusiastic about the details of the things that you know about. Wisdom, common sense, are you that type of person? Responsibility, resoluteness, are you that kind of person? So, in order for Knut to be successful, he needs to be in an environment where he can just fumble and find the holes in things and fix it. And then, just being in the environment where he will eventually mutate into that wise sage. Now, the type of people he needs in his environment in order to be successful is his network. He knows that his opportunities are within his network. His brotherhood, his sisterhood mean a lot to him. There are a tight-knit few, but then there are many. And when somebody crosses Knut, he really has given them many, many opportunities. So once you're out, you're out. You're never allowed back in. All right, so there's a lot of different things that we could talk about. We could talk about when Knut sleeps, what his brain thinks he's doing, what his body thinks he's doing. We could talk about a year in advance. We could get into all the hippy dippy things. But what you need to do is to press that follow button, and we will see each other later. If you guys want to know more information on how to get your own reading, make sure to come over and ask me on my channel. Thank you.